I always get excited when there's a new tech stock that I discover and stumble across. It's been trending massively on social media for the last week. It is an AI financial services fintech company. They're called PAGAYA Technologies. Are they a new meme stock? Is it a short squeeze type play, or are they the future in that sector? If they are the latter, then they've got great upside potential. So in this video I'm going to dig into a bit about their background, have a look at the charts, some of the fundamental data to see where they could be heading next. So with that, let's get straight into PAGAYA stock. So first port of call for me was to go to investing.com and just get a gauge of their company profile. And like I say, investing.com, very good for that sort of information. As you can see, classed as a software IT company, 618 employees. They are now traded on the US, only floated in June there. So relatively new to the stock market in the US, but you can see that they are actually an Israeli company headquartered in Tel Aviv, founded in 2016. It says here on investing.com, they're a fintech company, based in Israel, US and the Cayman Islands, and it develops and implements proprietary AI tech and related software solutions to assist partners to originate loans and other assets. And they include, high growth fintech companies, financial institutions, auto finance providers and brokers. So a big massive growth area, as we're all aware of, almost a competitor to some of those crypto providers there as well, but got a lot of potential. AI is, like I say, a growing sector and can bring some really big companies to the market, and maybe this is one of them. But why all this massive interest at the moment on social media for them? Well, let's dig a bit deeper. So we next jump into wallstreetodds.com, and one of the filters I've got in here set up is for watching stock twits, watcher growth, and as you can see quite easily, it stands out. PGY is their ticker. That's the current price, $16.72. Nearly 3,000% growth in 1 week compared to all those other stocks, which you'd expect, still to be, reasonable in their growth. But that one really stands out, and you can see a 1 week price move of 169%. So massive interest in this one at the moment. So if we then dive into the sub-tab for PGY in the Wall Street Odds site, you can get a bit more detail about what they're up to. Click on the price chart, we can actually see really, that launch date back in late June, and then this massive ramp up in growth, 1 year return plus 139.1%. Get some great information inside this site. Again, we've got a bit about the description, what sector they're in, but you can see sentiment news very positive, all green at the moment, and really too new to worry about historic returns and earnings. I think they just announced they're going to be reporting earnings sometime in mid-August. We'll check that out later. That could be an important thing to look at, especially if it's poor, and that might burst the bubble somewhat. Another interesting fact is, I believe about 18% of the stock has been shorted, so there is the potential short squeeze meme style play that we might be seeing, sort of actually playing out at the moment because of that. But the difference, I think, to this stock is that actually it's got a decent product. It's got something that's worth investing in. So this could be a really interesting play for PAGAYA at the moment, compared to some of those other meme stocks like your AMCs, GameStops, that sort of thing. So very interesting, like I say, at the moment. You can see here sentiment growth really shooting up over the last few days and weeks. And dipping into their website, can that give us any clues? Well, you can see, you know, they're dealing with some pretty decent businesses already there. You know, credit cards, banks, fintechs, auto lenders, you know, merchants. You know, they really are off and running here, and like I say, I think it's a great product compared to many of those smaller stocks, tech stocks especially, out there. And let's check investor relations, see if they've got any announcement about earnings or anything else. Let's see. There we go, second quarter earnings release, 16th of August. So that'd be a really interesting one to watch out for. See if it's good, bad or ugly, and how that might potentially burst the short-term bubble. Maybe there's a pullback opportunity there for the longer term play, or you know, it could just keep on going and going, you know, off to the moon. And you can see that also that there's quite a new stock. Like I said, they floated recently on the NASDAQ, so new to the US, and really it's like, where can we trade these guys? You can CFD and spread bet them if you're not in the US, but I had a quick look in my Trade Nation account, see what sort of information we've got there, and yes, you can trade them as a stock. Unfortunately, I don't have any options. I really like trading the options, you know, to create, you know, certain payoff profiles, but I guess due to the size and newness of them, there's not options there at the moment. But where do you know, First Trade think they're heading next? We'll actually use Morningstar's analysis here, and Morningstar, you know, say that really that there's some potential upside here compared to peers that they're looking at. You know, 67, you know, $70 isn't out of the equation to the upside, and to the downside, you know, $8. But at the moment they're looking at sort of fair value at where they are at the moment. And again, if you've got a First Trade account, then you can do that sort of background research there, you know, if you're into your fundamentals. So let's have a quick look at the stock price chart. I know we've already seen a line chart earlier, but let's just dig into the charts a bit more. Unsurprisingly, not a lot of information to go on, so really technical analysis at the moment isn't that effective, but it can give us some idea of where, and you know, where things are going next and what's been going on. Because I didn't realise that, you know, until looking at the charts, that actually since that June point they've actually had a decent decline of nearly 3/4 of their value, down to that low point in mid-July. You know, where you can see there's the number, 76.71%, and then that huge run up, you know, equating to nearly 800% move, which is quite amazing. And unsurprisingly, all the signals are green. Pretty volatile, you know, so watch out. That's trading around 400, you know, 500%, so it's a pretty risky stock. Volume you can see picking up there as well. Let's just make that a bit clearer. You can see that going up. So where could we be thinking of next for the price? Well, if this bullish run continues, then up into here, this sort of zone, which is the early 40 mark. And we did mention that date in August, which is round about here, 16th. So this could be a very interesting price zone in this sort of bubble area there, because if it can shoot up, then look for these key Fibonacci lines on the way back down. If it does burst that short-term bubble, you know, back into maybe even 14-15 area around about here. So like I say, not a lot to go on from the technical analysis, but it, you know, like I say, it's given us some ideas and expectations of where the price could move to if the, you know, stock continues its, you know, great interest in the social media world, and you know, the momentum continues into the next few weeks. But don't forget that key date, August the 16th. So PAGAYA sort of genned up by their move to the NASDAQ and getting on to the market there. Didn't have a great start and then have shot up an amazing near 800%. Interesting to see how this plays out. Like we talked about already, is it a meme stock, a short squeeze stock? And as I pointed out, I think the difference this time is that these guys with their AI tech and the market they're playing in, that fintech sector, they've got great potential for the long term. But the big warning here is that August 16th date. If we see that price rising and it's bad earnings, then maybe, you know, we could see a reversal in that price, but that might in turn create a buying the dip opportunity for you. So next few weeks crucial for where, you know, the stock price is heading next, and let me know in those comments below what you think of them. You know, or are there any other great stocks out there that you think could rival them as the next big tech stocks in the very near future? Love to hear from you there. Now, if you've liked today's video, please give us the thumbs up. Don't forget to hit the bell and subscription buttons, and all that's left for me to say is thanks for watching, good luck with that trading, and I'll see you in the next video.